I'm Kelly Makley, the Rose Creek Watershed Coordinator. The Rose Creek Watershed is an urban water system that drains into Mission Bay in San Diego, California. There are many preserved park areas within walking distance of suburban neighborhoods. It's a wonderful place to visit, containing great natural beauty and recreational opportunities. It's also home to rare and endangered wildlife. In this segment, we are visiting one of the three main trails within the system with Karin Zirk of Friends of Rose Creek.
Good morning and welcome to the Rose Creek Salt Marsh and Estuary. The estuary here contains the drainage from the entire Rose Creek watershed. So we have a lot of water draining from a lot of areas coming right here through the estuary. Now we're going to take a look at the native plant garden where we're restoring native habitat. We've been restoring the native habitat like this coast buckwheat for the endangered California gnatcatcher. This type of habitat is part of the coastal sage scrub habitat, and that's where the gnatcatcher lives. So what we're trying to do here is restore this stretch of creek with the upland habitat, and hopefully someday we'll have a continuous stretch of upland habitat going along the upper banks of Rose Creek into the upper watershed to provide a wildlife corridor for animals and birds like the California gnatcatcher that live in the coastal sage scrub community. Here we are on the Rose Creek bike path, which connects the Rose Creek Salt Marsh Mission Bay Park with San Clemente Canyon and Rose Canyon Open Space Park. This is a freshwater riparian habitat. We have a whole different plant community here, as well as a different bird community than we saw at the salt marsh. We have willows and sycamore and cottonwood, and of course, the ever-present bicyclists. Here we are at the Mike Gotch Memorial Bridge at the downstream portion of Rose Creek. This is where the mouth of Rose Creek enters into Mission Bay Park, and right behind me are the mudflats that provide critical feeding habitat for shorebirds. And this area will be filled with great blue herons, snowy egrets, and other shorebirds.
Wildlife also use the nearby Mission Bay Marshes, which are affected by the quality of the fresh water flowing out of Rose Creek.
This is the only remaining piece of marsh in Mission Bay. It is next to Rose Creek, the mouth of Rose Creek, and it is mainly important because it acts as a nursery for all the marine wildlife that then migrates into Mission Bay. It's a saltwater marsh, and the mixture of fresh water and salt water is rather important. And in addition, the marsh acts as a biochemical filter to remove contaminants.
We're here at the Rose Creek Watershed mural, and this mural was created by members of the community at the Rose Creek Fest. And the reason we put this project together was to serve as a constant reminder to all of the users of this area that Rose Creek provides critical habitat for many of San Diego's native plant and animal species, and also to help people understand the watershed concept, that the upstream communities of Claremont and University City are all connected to the downstream communities in Pacific Beach and flowing into Mission Bay Park, and that everyone's actions upstream impact the habitat downstream.
I'd like to invite you and your families to come out here to the Rose Creek Salt Marsh and Estuary. Bring your bikes, bring your kayaks, bring your paddle boards. There's a lot to see and explore here in this beautiful watershed.
Thanks for joining us to explore the Rose Creek Watershed today. I invite you to visit our website to learn more about the projects we're working on to improve and preserve this beautiful pocket of nature in the heart of San Diego.